Welcome aboard. My name is Tyson. I will be your host this evening, as well as I've been the host the last 4 evenings. So thank you very much for tuning in. I am always excited to talk to the very few people who tune into this because it's not about that. It's not about that. It's just about a young man living out some dreams. And my dream has always been to talk to myself on camera. It really has been. When I look back at all the dreams I've had in my life, this is the one that ultimately I was in pursuit of the entire time. Talk to myself alone on camera. With me, you might be able to hear him because he's going absolutely ham, is my dog. He is somewhere back there. He will make an appearance. Do not doubt Winston's ability to make an appearance. He might be wanted here. I mean, he's a dog. Some people are dog lovers. Most people are dog lovers. I don't really trust people who aren't dog lovers, but he's a me lover, the young man, so he will come check in with me as soon as he's had enough of his food, or if it happens to get too close to that golf bag there, he's very afraid of golf clubs, very afraid of them. So he stays far away, and sometimes he'll push his food right up next to it, like it'll end up trying to backwards. There we go. It'll end up like right there. And then he comes up to me and he starts whining, and I have to go kick it away. If I try to force him to go up to it, I just keep telling him, clean up, clean up, clean up. You pushed it over there. You're going to have to deal with it. The bag's not going to hurt you. He makes it. He's a great whiner. He does a lot of things really well. The thing he does best is whine and cry. He has the kind of whine that will drive anyone insane. It just like buries deep in your brain, and you're just, oh gosh, it's just the worst. And it also brings me pain hearing my boy in pain, or to be afraid or anything like that. So what am I gonna do? So that's that. Anyway, episode 5. Welcome aboard. I'm excited. I don't have a specific topic I want to talk about. It seems like every week I'm like, I want to talk about this, and then I see something else that gets me fired up. I want to talk about that. There's all kinds of stuff, and I'm still getting in the swing of things as far as I don't want you guys to see my apartment. It's a little trashed right now. You can see Winston has tore up the couch. It's pretty bland behind me. I'm planning on getting that fixed, but in the meantime, this is really just going to be fun. The thing that's kind of keeping me going right now is the picks. Officially, let's get our official rating. Actually, let me pull up my phone, see where we're at for the official picks. I had to start a spreadsheet because I keep forgetting where I'm at as far as an overall record on the show, but it's good. Let me tell you, it's good. It's good. So, through the history of the show, we are 14-5. If you were the kind of person who bets 10 grand a game and you were taking my picks, you're welcome. That's all I'll say. I mean, if you're betting $5 a game, you're welcome. You have made money off of me. I've made money off of me. Which I don't want to sound surprised, okay? This is what I do, okay? Even though this is my first full year of betting in NFL football, this is what I do. It's what I do now. I just made the decision one day. I was going to start studying the lines. They talk to me. They tell me, Tyson, take us. Tyson, over here. Tyson. They talk to me. They know my name. And they tell me things, and sometimes there's some noise, and I get things wrong. I have 5 losses, but 14-5, 14-5. I mean, I got a great sure thing segment for you. Only 2 games. I am gonna put my Super Bowl winner in today because it's less impressive if I call it when it's just the Super Bowl. So I'm gonna call it now when there's still 2 games to be played, 4 teams alive. I'm going to let you know who I take. I'm going to give you my predictions for the conference championships. Championship Sunday. Big deal. Big deal. I'm going to give you my picks. There he is. He made an appearance. I told you. He's going to push it. He's going to push it right by the end. But before I'm done talking, I bet you he gets it to about right there. And he comes over here and he starts crying. Call that a sure thing. I'll be 15-5 before the episode's even up. You can book that. Bet your life on it. So we're gonna get into the sure things. I'm probably gonna rant about nonsense. That's the whole point of this show. I mean, I wanted to make sure I had some gambling involved because, well, gambling's fun. I'm a young guy. I'm a degenerate, so I might as well talk about gambling. But you know what? I went and put on a collared shirt today so that way I could talk about these things and not look like a degenerate. Okay? And maybe if I give you enough logic, you might go, this guy knows what he's doing. Get him on Barstool Sports Advisors. What a dream that would be. That's like my dream job at this point, is getting on Barstool Sports Advisors. It would just be sick. Sick. And, or who knows, maybe I surpass those guys and we have sort of a rivalry going. I love a healthy rivalry. So I can't sit here and say that there's a specific topic that has just been eating at me all week. Some weeks have been different. There's one that's kind of coming to mind, and that's social media is just so toxic. It's so crazy to me how everybody seems to hate each other. I just don't get it. I really don't. Like, how about we live by Jackie Moon, the great Jackie Moon's advice? ELE. Everybody love everybody. Why is that so hard? Why is it so hard to approach everybody with love? Right? You know, what's funny is I say that, and then the other day, I go and I pick up my little brother from basketball practice, and I'm coming back into my apartment complex, and I live in a complex where there's like several buildings, all owned by the same, group of people, but there's different buildings. So like I live in 5619, there's 5607, there's 5614. Each building has a different number. So there's a roundabout entrance because there's multiple roads you can take to get to your building. There's a lot of space. Here it comes. Here it comes. What did I say? I thought for sure we were about to get a Winston wine there. I thought for sure we were about to get it. It's coming. You see it's getting closer? It's coming. Anyway, I'm pulling in, right? I go around the roundabout, going up to my normal spot. It's a 2-lane, okay? Which means there's cars going this way and there's cars going that way. Very simple, very basic stuff in regards to driving, JV stuff. Very simple. There's a car parked in one of the lanes, not in a parking space, in one of the lanes, which is a classic move that Uber drivers, DoorDash people, really any kind of driving service just loves to do. They love to park in places that aren't parking spaces. It's specifically in my complex. They're like, well, I don't really know where I'm going to go, so I'm going to go in the one thing and stop in the one spot that's not actually a parking space. I'm just going to throw my hazards on so everybody knows I'm actually stupid. There it is. He's figuring it out right now. He's trying to figure out how he can eat his food. Okay, we're getting better. All right, good. It happens all the time, and it drives me up a wall. It's like, grab a parking space. If you don't know where you're going, grab a parking space. Why is that so difficult? I don't know. See, there we go. You need to clean up. They're not going to hurt you, buddy. Clean up. What'd I tell you? Excuse me. Dude, this is ridiculous. It's a bag of golf clubs, okay? It's not that big a deal. But you've never done anything to you. Jeez. Sorry about that. I'm sure he'll push it back over. He seems to not understand that he's terrified of the golf bag, but he has not figured out how to avoid pushing his food closer to it. It just, I don't know. He's a dog, Silly, silly little dog. Okay, so back to the story that I was on, right? I preface this by saying everybody should lead with love, and then something like this happens. Somebody's parked in one of the lanes with their hazards on, which I guess is respectful. I don't think the hazard means what people who use their hazard as often as they do think it means. It doesn't mean you get to just be a clown. It doesn't mean you get to just be a jackwagon on the road and, just stop wherever you want, throw the hazards on, and that's that. The hazards are for when, there's stuff going wrong. So, Use them when there's stuff going wrong, not just when you're confused, you have anxiety about where to park, and you want to just stop in the most dumb place. It's not even like it's like, I mean, like I said, there's a main entrance roundabout, maybe like 50 feet past one of the exits. So like we're talking the main entrance here, folks. I mean, this is silly. And he's just stopped. Hazards on. So I have to pull up right behind him because there's obviously a car coming the opposite direction. Again, a 2-lane road. And we decide to stop in one of the lanes and throw our hazards on. Ugh. I stop behind him, let this car pass. And it's like, and I'm that guy, okay? So I sit right behind him because I want him to know, I think you're in the way right now. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to drive forward and move. He doesn't. So I go around him, I pull in, I let my brother out, and then I have to get to my building. He lives in a different building, same complex, different building. I pull out, and now I go, all right, I can go right and avoid the clown who's parked in the way, or I can go left, and I can pull up on him, and I can share my perspective. I chose that option, which doesn't exactly align with the everybody love everybody, advice that I was trying to figure out. But you could say this was love. Let me get to my point. I pull up next to him and I drop the window. I do the thing. I pull up right next to him and wait till he looks at me, and then I start lowering the window. So that way he's like, okay, this person's trying to talk to me. He rolls down his window and I said, are you okay? Are you stuck or something? Because instead of just right away going, what the hell are you doing? You're in the way. Get into a parking space. What are you thinking? I thought maybe I should respect the hazards. I should say, are you okay? Are you stuck? I mean, there's snow on the ground. It's cold. We got some snow the night before. I just want to make sure. That ELE, love. I said, are you okay? Are you stuck? You good? And he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for somebody, for like a Facebook Marketplace thing. I don't think that warrants a hazard light. I don't think that warrants you stopping in one of the lanes, one of the 2 lanes. I think that warrants grabbing a parking space and waiting it out there. And if the argument is, well, if he doesn't live there, so maybe he doesn't know if the parking belongs to the people who live there. Guess what definitely belongs to the people who live there? The road. The road definitely belongs to the people who live there. So maybe don't park in one of the lanes. And so I said, okay, well, you're kind of in the way. And he says, well, I can move. To which I was flabbergasted. It's like, okay, I'm aware you can because you're not stuck and you're in a car. So then I said, yeah, maybe you should. And he says, oh, okay. And then he pulls off and he goes and grabs a parking space. But it's like, what do you do with that? Like, that was confrontational. That was me. I could have gone right. I could have avoided that person completely. I could have forgotten all about him. But I chose to go left so I could confront this person. Maybe you say that that's not leading with love. Or you could say that because I loved him, because I love everybody, I wanted what was best for him. And what was best for him was not staying parked in one of the 2 lanes in the main entrance of an apartment complex that houses, 400-500 people. Like, let's just use our brains. So, dude, whoever you are, if you find yourself watching this, which would be some miracle, get your shit together, okay? I mean, I'm glad you figured it out. I'm glad that me giving you advice, you didn't decide to be a jack off and be like, oh, yeah, all right. Oh, I'm in the way. Okay. Like, you acknowledged it and you said, well, I can move, and you moved, Like, I appreciate that, but get it together, buddy. If you're going to be going places, picking things up, park where you're parking spaces. I mean, it's what they're for. It's the only thing they're for. Roads are actually for everything to do like everything that has to do with a car. You can do anything on the road, within legal limits of a car besides park. Parking is not something you do on the road. Parking is what you do in parking spaces. So I felt it was necessary to educate the people on that. Social media very toxic. The real world can be very toxic. And confrontation doesn't have to be toxic. Confrontation can be very cleansing. So that's my piece on the matter. All right. So because I don't have much else, maybe we should just get right into the reason this show truly exists, and that is my tremendous record on Sure Things, because I got some sure things for you folks. We got Championship Sunday, baby. We've got Championship Sunday, and I'm going to pull up the live odds as I always do on DraftKings. DraftKings is not a sponsor yet, but will they start finding out the kind of money that I'd be making people if they were giving me a promo code or whatever? Look out. Look out. Things would get out of hand if they decided to throw me in with the big league players, giving them promo codes and gambling money and all that stuff. What I swear, every time I go on DraftKings, it changes its layout. All right, here we go. So, first game, New England Patriots at the Denver Broncos. I think anybody who knows anything is aware that this game is a bit of a weird one. It opened at 5.5 points. Denver Broncos being underdogs because of the unfortunate injury that happened to Bo Nix. They're still at home. They still have a great defense. And the Patriots still almost lost to a Texans team that was literally trying to hand them the game. I know they won by more than a score, but they really did their very best to keep that game competitive when it should not have been. And yeah, the Texans defense great, blah blah blah, but I don't know. A team gives you that many opportunities and you don't beat them by 10, something's not right there. So I think the reason it is now 4.5 points is people were thinking that, and they're like, well, it's just Bo Nix. A low-scoring game with that defense, Sean Payton. Give me Denver with the points. Give me Denver with the points. Give me Denver with the points. I'm definitely going the under here. The total is at 42.5. I'm definitely playing the under. I don't care if this game opened up at 17.5 points. I was taking the under. I don't have a ton of faith that the Patriots can light it up on the Denver Broncos defense, and I really can't expect the Broncos to light it up. I'm kind of curious how they're going to score. And I feel like the kind of team the Patriots are, if they get up 7-10 points early, they might win, 17-7 or 19 to 6 or something like that. I just don't think it's going to take a lot of points, which kind of makes me a little nervous. If I'm going the under, I want to double dip a little bit because there's only 2 games, and I would like to get at least 4 picks in the mix. But for the sake of double dipping, because I don't really know what's going to go down, but I feel pretty confident about this, I'm going to say under 42.5, and I'm going to take the Patriots straight up. I think there's enough of a chance that the Broncos find a way to beat the Patriots. If they're going to find a way to beat a team, it's the Patriots. I mean, let's be real. If they're going to find a way to beat a team, it's going to be the Patriots. So I'm going to double down, double dip, under 42.5, Patriots money line. Boom. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's move on to the NFC Championship, where we have the LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. Their third meeting this year. They got the LA Rams as underdogs, getting 2.5 points. Over-unders at 46.5. I like the Rams straight up. I'm not going to play anything else. I think the Rams are the better team. I think the Rams are going to remember the whole BS that went down that, allowed the Seahawks to win by 2 last time. I also think that a 2.5 point spread is just silly. I don't need the insurance points. If the Rams win, or if the Seahawks win, it's going to be by 3 or more anyway, especially with the total predicted in the upper 40s. Absolutely, I'm taking the Rams straight up, which then leads me into my 4th pick, which is my future Super Bowl choice. I am taking the Los Angeles Rams to win the Super Bowl. I think this NFC Championship is your Super Bowl. Whoever comes out of this, I believe, wins it. The only shot, I think, is if the Seahawks somehow beat the Rams and they go up against the Patriots. I think the Seahawks are probably favored in that regard. And I don't know. I have some thinking to do, but even still, I think the Seahawks will beat either team. But I think the Rams are better. I'm putting my faith in Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford. I think that's an easy one. Plus 120, if you're going to double my money for betting on the team that's better, I'll take it all day. So those are my sure things for this week's Championship Sunday. Man. Well, we haven't been going for long, but it's Friday night. I wanted to get my picks out. I got to maintain the consistency. That's all this is about right now. Maybe I'll make some clips of this. Who knows? I'm leveling up. Every week I'm leveling up. If you happen to be watching this, I see a couple people have been watching these. Please leave a comment. Let me know what if you think that if you like my ranting and you just want to hear me talk about nonsense, but you'd maybe want to hear me nonsense about something else, or if maybe you think that my picks are stupid, or maybe you're impressed with the fact that I'm getting so many of these right, please let me know. I really appreciate you if you tuned in. That's another episode of The Uncommon Show. Peace.